we would love to know your viewpoint on what is the interview format of customer success internship. Like how many rounds of interview are there? What type of interviews happen, like behavioral, technical, etc. So what
Yeah,
kind of a format does one have to go?
so the format, I'm sure it's dependent on companies, but in my case, I had 2 interviews. Both were behavioral interviews, as I'm not going to expect you to know all the technical details of the products you're working with. So it's just typical behavioral interview, ask me about myself, my strengths. I got asked quite a few times about examples of teamwork, leadership, why Adobe. So I really made sure I understood why I wanted to work at Adobe, made sure I came across as being passionate about it. And then so first interview, and then second interview was very similar, but it was more specific to the role I would be doing. And some of the questions, yes, they were behavioral, but they were more orientated toward a customer success. Unlike the first one, which is more about me and who I am.
Okay, thanks. Thank you so much for this answer. So what are the 5 most important questions asked in the interview for customer success internship?
So as I said, my main 2 are an example of teamwork, how you worked in a team, problems that your team had and how you got over those problems. And then there's another very related one to leadership is what's an example of you being a leader? How did you work with the team? As a leader, did you experience any problems and did you manage to overcome those hurdles? And if so, how did you overcome those hurdles? Another question asked was about why customer success? Why did I want to do customer success out of everything? And I think one important thing when asked that question is, best thing about being customer success is you get visibility to the technical side. At the same time, you get to work with customers and really understand their issues and really build on them. Say 4th and 5th questions. One, but I'm going to count this as one, but obviously my strengths and weaknesses. I always think it's important to know your weaknesses as well as your strengths, obviously. And then the 5th question asked of me, I'd say the best one out of all the ones asked were why. Well, one specific for me is why I'm doing physics, which is always a question I get asked. But why your major? Why you're interested in that? How do you think you could apply your major to what we do as a CSM? So having answers for those questions is always very important.
Thank you so much, Jack, for the lovely answer. So here comes my next question. What are the 3 tips for students to make themselves prepare for career customer success role? If you can elaborate it.
Yeah, of course. So 3 tips for students to prepare themselves for creating customer success. First of all, as I've emphasized multiple times, is teamwork. You are in control. As a CSM, it is your job to make sure that everyone is working well together internally so that you're supporting your customer in the best possible way. So again, you need to be able to have good relationships with, say, sales, marketing, the engineering team. By having these relationships, you can bring everyone together to, again, provide the best experience for your customer. And if you have the ability to do that and work with them all, you're going to be a great CSM. Secondly, again, is leadership, being able to reach out to all these people and be a leader in organizing them all together to work together and telling them how they need to work together and what the customer wants and the best way for them to do that. Third, leading off from that is obviously organization and communication. Those are the 2 big ones following from that. As you're going to be reaching out and working, not just with the customer's ecosystem, but your ecosystem, your internal kind of ecosystem, you need to be able to communicate so that everyone knows what they're doing. The engineering team needs to be able to work with the sales team to provide the best product for your customer, so on, so on. So by having that communication, organized communication, you have the ability, you'll be much more successful in being a good customer success manager.
Thank you.